How y'all doing out there, America, the world? We here with yet another episode of the Put to Bed podcast. You hear me?
Yes, sir. Back with another one. Back with another one. I'm not even gonna try to get to the number because yeah.
We at 31. We at 31.
Okay, cool. You know.
Yeah.
But yeah, we had a little conversation, a little venting session right before we start recording. Should have recorded that little venting session, but we're just giving you a little food for thought. Since I was younger, I know that, and bro ain't that far behind, but like he far a little bit. But we always heard whatever happens in the dark comes to the light.
Facts.
Yeah, so just put that in food for thought, and we'll circle back around to that. So I want to know what people think that means and what they mean for them and they cultural background. Because yeah, in us, it meant you sneaking around, you're doing things, it's gonna come out. So
Yeah. If you lying, a good truth gonna eventually come out.
yeah, basically.
Basically. Yeah.
But yeah, so we're gonna get right into it because we've been doing good on time, and we're gonna try to stay within the 30-minute time
Within
frame.
that, yeah.
So we're gonna do that again. So my questions for bro, we got two topics for tonight, and then we got the food for thought. Was basically working the school building. You know, we're coming into the new year trainings, and we had a suicide training. And I know a lot about suicide, but we like within the Black community, though. Of course, our numbers are higher in
Mhm.
most everything, basically, but because they put us that way. But we're disadvantaged, so the
Facts.
numbers for Black children are higher for suicide. Suicide month is coming up in October, so I just wanted to bring it up to like fruition and what you thought about that, and basically what I learned today. Basically, I would say like I already know some things we know from just being Black people in the community and seeing people, knowing people, having relatives who had suffered through that, or even ourselves have even went through some things where you might have thought about it. It's not uncommon, but for us Black young men or young older men, anybody really, because there's no age limit on suicide, but it can start young and it can start high. But my question is, what makes it higher for us? One thing is cultural differences. We're up against the wall with testing and things like that. It brings a whole bunch of different, like just stuff on your shoulders you got to deal with. You carrying into the school building. So
Mm-hmm.
you going into a school building, we all know how to take a test. You going in there, you supposed to have ate, supposed to be rested, and all that type of stuff. But in some households, we know that's not common. You're not always rested. You might not have anything to eat because you had to give it to your sibling, or your mom or dad just don't have it, or grandma just don't have it. So
Mm-hmm.
like that's one big thing. This difference is we are coming from a different household, so we already up against the standard. Another one, mental health. A lot of people don't understand that, like in the household, like domestic violence, violence in the home, period, like it could be anything, but domestic violence in any form does have a big impact on
Facts.
kids. Yeah, especially like with suicide rates because comes with PTSD, anxiety, and some mild depression to extreme depression. So those type of things. For myself alone, I deal with anxiety and mild depression at times, like mostly seasonal stuff, but like with loud sounds, I still be like, like with thunder. I'm a punk with thunder. So
Yeah.
those things still are triggered, for me because of like certain loud sounds. You don't know what that look like, and it's coming from certain traumas from from where you come from.
Mm-hmm.
Another one, environmental, just being targeted discrimination in our neighborhoods, in our schools. And if you are a Black kid or a person of color, a kid of color in a school that's minority white, you are going to get racially bullied. That is there in your face. People ignore it, but it happens. We both I know I went to a majority white school in Texas, in certain areas, and got my ass bullied because you're the one who looks different. Even if it's not right, you're the one who looks different. So people are taught, hey, you different, get on that ass. And it's not right because it does put you in a fight or flight type of thing. GL community are higher as well because they come from the sadness, the loneliness, the abandonment. Let's be real, every parent is not happy about their kid being out in the openly gay or bisexual or or whatever that looks like. So they
Mm-hmm.
do deal with that. And that does bring some, hopelessness, which brings on suicidal thoughts. So just giving that educational background, because yeah, that's what I do, Pat. I just wanted to get your thoughts on it, and then I'll just like follow it, whatever you say afterwards, like just a finishing thought on it. But that's some things that basically happens to us. We know we see it. We talked about it before, and we have kids, so we've also seen them come up against it, come home crying, or we had to go talk to a principal, a teacher, somebody about picking with our kids. So
Yeah.
it's been there, but we've also had success of keeping our kids away from those type of, not I'd say thoughts, because they might have had those thoughts, but they didn't
Yeah. Fact.
act. You can have the
Acting.
thought,
Yeah. The
it's
acting
the
is the
act.
big thing. Yeah.
So just to be very clear, a thought it's not abnormal because it can be daily. Like you can just be like, man, I just want to. Some kids say that all the time. I hear, I just want to die. They don't really literally mean that. It means something else that's coming out that way, and they've heard
Mm.
it from someone else or whatever, TV. But just to get a background on it, like, bro, what you think your mind frame is with that? Because suicide is very real. We've had our loved ones have been affected by it, a loved one or two. So personal life, we've all dealt with our own mental health battles and things like that. So we know it's real. I'm not one of the people who ignore it's real.
It's
So
definitely real. Mental health is real.
exactly, like I do it at school. I do a suicide assessments on students who say, "I'm going to kill myself. I want to die. My mom doesn't love me, so I don't want to be here anymore." All those kind of words are saying the same thing in a different way. So,
Hmm.
what's your thoughts? I just wanted to see, open the floor up to you, bro, and see what you think.
First, I'm gonna piggyback off what you. One of the last things you said was the thought, and a lot
Hmm.
of people feel bad about just as in pertaining to the suicide thing. But I just seen something recently also, and it just made me want to embrace that one particular comment. On a side note, it's kind of a side note. It does pertain to the suicide thing as well, but just a thought. We have to learn that thoughts are natural. Thoughts
Right.
are natural, and the embracing it. Embrace those negative thoughts. If you have a negative
Hmm.
thought, or say, I feel like I'm gonna kill myself. I feel like this. I feel like that. Embrace it. Don't just let it come.
Hmm.
Let it be, and then release it. Really, but don't ignore it. Don't feel like you just a terrible person because you have a thought or urge or a thought about something in that ramification. Embrace it for what it is. Damn, I had a feeling like that. I thought this.
Right.
Why am I thinking this? Why could I be possibly thinking this? Like this and that, this and that. Embrace it. If you can, find the energy to laugh at it and then let it be. Because the more and more that we give something that much attention, even if it's
Hmm.
trying to reject it, even if you're saying, "Damn, okay, I shouldn't be thinking about this. I shouldn't be thinking about this. I shouldn't be thinking about this." You telling yourself constantly that you shouldn't be thinking about that is you thinking. So just I say like that's why I say just embrace those thoughts, embrace them, take them for what they are naturally as a thought. Let it go through the process of evaluate it. Okay, why am I thinking like this? Well, embrace it if you can, enjoy it, find some kind of solace in it, laugh about it, and let it go. And just try not to dwell on our thoughts because the more you dwell on a negative things, the more they materialize and the more they start to come into realities because we are manifesting it in a certain way. Whether you realize it or not. And then I do want to just more that was just a side note. You know, but
Hmm.
just touching back on the basis of suicide in our community. I'm always bet on black. So first off, I gotta say I did do a little research myself, and your numbers are right. In children, I think it's ages like young children up to ages like 7, 8 type. That type of
Yeah.
rate. We are at the highest right now. It's crazy. I didn't think it. I had to
Hmm.
go look it up and see. But African American children, we are in the highest rate of suicide for the younger children. Now, as
Yeah.
far as like in the mid adolescence, 10 to 9 to 13 and stuff like that. The white kids still got that the right now, but black people are still our numbers are rising in that area as
Hmm.
well. But we not that
Hmm.
we not in the lead in that area. I'm not saying the lead. It's not like it's a race to go
Right.
under. That sounds kind of crazy coming out of my mouth. But the numbers are higher still in there for European for white people in that area. But overall, like just teenagers to kids in general, like everything even in the young adolescents of 19 to 18 to just overall the
Yeah.
highest the highest rate is Native American kids, Native American, Alaskan type of kids like that. For whatever reason, I don't know. I can't really pinpoint it for other races and everything like that. But I can say that just for knowing my community, and then you hit a
Hmm.
lot of things on the head. I feel like a lot of those numbers because back in the days, you would think it's always been like the Native American type of they have a lot of their own struggles and stuff like that as far as like
Right.
a lot of they stuff be accidental with drugs and
Alcohol.
overdoses and stuff like that and alcohol and it be suicidal, stuff like that is just from nature of what they doing, and some of that should be accidental. But
Mhm.
just from our community, a lot of the things you said really stuck out to me because I was thinking too. Like when I looked at the numbers, I was like, "Damn, why is we doing this? Why is we at this rate in this time of society where we are leading in suicide? That's crazy to me." So I was trying to wrap my mind around it. But you put a lot of stuff in perspective. One of the things that you said too is like even the stuff that we are exposed to, the stuff that our kids are
Mhm.
exposed to, we were not exposed to it at a young age. Like I don't no, I'm not bashing no community. You know, I got love for any and everybody. If you being yourself and you true to yourself and you honest with yourself and you present that to the world, more power to you. That's in whatever form that look like. Black, white, Latino, Asian, straight, gay, whatever that even shit, if you racist, if you wear that flag high and you say that this is why I don't like this and this and that, this and that and the third, and they did this to my family, this and that and the third, and you wearing it proud and you not ashamed of look, by all means, be you. I'm always gonna support a motherfucker being themselves.
Right.
Unless
At
your
all
stuff is like a
times.
mass murderer or a rapist or some shit. I don't support you being
Yeah.
yourself and to keep that to yourself. But if a person just being them and they not harming nobody, whether their views or opinions are, I'm always support that. And I
Yeah.
feel like a lot of the LGBT community stuff has been forced on our youth like, through cartoons. We weren't seeing no we weren't seeing a lot of that stuff. It was not exposed to us. It was
Mm-mm.
not a norm. So these days, our children are way more conflicted. They way more confused. They way more exposed to things that make them
Yeah.
question their identity, make them question their sanity, make them question their family, make them question the world that they live in, their entire existence. And even like you said, the parents in these days, like it's more critical. Like they criticizing kids because they want to do this or they want to do that or you want
Hmm.
to wear a purse or you want to do this. Like back in our days, back in the days period, like it wasn't as open spread for you to just be who you are in the
Yeah.
form of like the LGBT community in the form of that type of it wasn't that open. Most people didn't come out the closet and say they was grown or they was like late teens or they you had to
Hmm.
find out like you didn't know. You probably seen the tendencies in people
Yeah.
from
Of
childhood if you
course.
paid attention. So you knew if you paid attention to them. But people wasn't just openly out like that, and it wasn't pushed on us. Like you
Yeah.
see in cartoons, you seen it in the music, you seeing it in the rappers, you seen it in the singers, you seen it in everywhere you look, everywhere you turn,
Fashion.
fashion everywhere. Like I seen some with dudes in Atlanta like wearing skirts, and that's like the new it's regular street state dudes made it like skirt fashion. Like that's it's crazy. It's been pushed on us in so many ways that our youth is so conflicted, they so confused, they so torn with that, with just the drug stuff, the like you said, the poverty stuff, the
Yeah.
the world issues. Like our children are getting wiser than what we were because they exposed to more. The social
Exposed.
media and the technology has made them age faster than what our children are used to age, and that goes for all
Hmm.
races of children. Like we age,
Yeah.
they aging way faster. They way more mature. They way more inapt to their surroundings because they're exposed so much from due to their surroundings. It's a lot more pressure on them. It's a lot more pressure
Hmm.
on them to not just be a kid and live and have fun. They got to deal with all of these issues. They got to deal with the world issues. They got to deal with the bombings. They got to deal with everything that they seeing, everything that's been pushed on them through social media, through news, through everything, through us, through the parents, through they what are they peers. So it's a lot more pressure. It's a lot, and then
Yes.
on all of that on top of being black in America, oh, that'll make a nigga go crazy. I understand
Man.
that alone, I mean, all of that type of stuff on top of just the regular struggles of
Hmm.
moms ain't got it, single parent family, you getting your ass whooped. You can't tell nobody getting your ass whooped because your parents tell
Right.
you if you tell somebody, then CPS gonna come take you, so you got to suffer in silence. It's a lot of stuff that we deal with is in our culture that is getting younger and younger and younger. Stuff that we used to have to deal with as teens, we are now stuff that we
Yeah.
used to have to deal with at 19 and young adults. We now having to deal with at 13. It's stuff that we
Or
used to have to deal
nine.
with or yeah, I ain't done. The stuff that we
Oh.
used to have to deal with at 13 and the stuff that we now having to deal with at 8. The stuff that we used to have to deal with at 8 is the stuff that the kids are dealing
Hmm.
with now at like 4 and 5.
Yeah.
So those are the harsh realities that we living in, and the pressure is on them, and their brains are not formed yet to even make these critical decisions. So it can happen. It can happen.
It
It
can
can happen
happen.
by accident, and the parents is getting younger and sloppier and lazier and less attentive to their kids. So they leaving weapons around, they leaving guns around, loaded the house because they
Mm.
high and they doing whatever the fuck. And they just not paying attention to their kids because they shouldn't even be having kids in the first place because they young as hell and not don't even got their mind right. So
Yeah.
kids is committing suicide accidentally by picking up a gun, thinking it's GTA, thinking it's a game, thinking it's a toy, and taking their own lives or killing
Mm-hmm.
others with it. Like so, it's a lot of stuff that just plays on the numbers and what makes it what it is. And in today's society, and ultimately we just gotta spread more awareness and be more aware, and make our children aware, because we gotta stop trying to shelter them and treat them like they're
Yeah.
kids. It's crazy to say, because it's crazy to say that, but we gotta stop treating them like they're young children, even when they are young children, because they exposed to way more stuff than we were exposed to as young children. I would say that's my put to bedness on it.
I think I would say we do have to, we still got to treat them like kids because they act like grown ass kids,
Yeah, yeah, no, yeah, yeah,
adults.
yeah, yeah. I didn't mean it in that type of way. I'm talking about it as far as the information we giving to them,
Oh yeah.
as far as information we giving to them, not as far as
Yeah,
like the
absolutely.
treatment. Kids, just
Safety
definitely,
stuff.
definitely stay in the kid's place.
Hell
Definitely
yeah.
don't get too big for your britches, for I pop you in your, you hear me?
Yeah.
Nah, because they already think they grown and they don't need to be exposed to too much
Yeah.
as far as adults. I'm talking about just as far as the knowledge.
I do.
We have to give them more than what we were given.
Like, because if they don't know, they can't tell you, they can't say nothing.
They
I
can't
mean, they
identify
can't,
it. Yeah, they
they don't
can't
know, they can
identify it.
identify it, right? They don't know if
If
it's
I can't
wrong or.
identify it, I can't heal from it. I can't.
Hmm. Like the conversation nobody ever wants to talk about, molestation. Have them conversations with your damn kids, because
Yeah,
every touch is not a good touch, and then people, my kid is extra friendly. That's not always a good thing.
not always a
Had
good
a
thing. Don't sit. I tell my daughter all the time. Don't sit on nobody's lap. Don't sit on no grown man. Don't
man,
be in no grown man's face. Don't be touching on them. Don't be all smiling in their face. I used to tell my daughter that at a very young age. Like, that shit ain't cute. Don't sit on nobody's lap. Don't do none of that shit. If it ain't mine,
exactly,
don't done none of that. That shit, none of
none
that.
of that. But
Don't sit there and do
and
that.
also, you said one other thing. You said embrace it. Like, yes, I agree. Embrace that feeling, that negative feeling, so you can have a chance to examine it and change that negative thought into a positive one. Even if it's just, okay, I woke up today. That's a positive thought. Even if you have the suicidal thoughts the night before, or even that morning at 8:30, and then by 10:30 you're like, okay, I'm feeling more positive. I feel more like, I can do this or whatever. I feel like I got another chance to, make it right, or whatever that looks like. You give yourself that grace to know, okay, I had that thought. Don't beat yourself down about it and keep it moving. But like you said, change that negative thought. And if you can't do it on your own, sometimes you got to open your mouth too, because if you don't say nothing, you don't know. Nobody knows that you need support. You need support for
Yeah,
real.
you struggle in silence. You suffer in silence.
Yeah. And then lastly, I want to tell you one of the reasons why they said was the reason why was bleeding out. That was one of the highest, the reason why, like they had
Mm,
pills, all that type of stuff. And then the second reason was guns, basically, like
yeah.
shooting themselves, or pills. I'm sorry, pills and then guns. So
Mm. Oh, for real. And they don't know. Like I said, the parents these days, they leaving their guns around. These kids thinking it's a game. They think they see this stuff on social media all the time. They not super conscientious of it.
right.
Even with their actions, like they not fully capable of making these actions aware. So it's, it could be, it's a number of stuff like that.
Exactly.
We got to be more aware and be more responsible as parents, like, with the weapons, because I see it on the news all the time these days, where it's like a
Yeah.
young kid then killed their sibling, or they didn't kill their parent, or they didn't kill their cousin, shooting a gun, and had no ill intent, just
Right.
playing with a damn gun. Like, how did? And the first thing that people say is, how did they get that gun? How did that gun? The parents need to be, and the
Hmm.
parents do get prosecuted, and they do go to jail. And I feel like that's just because, why the hell is this gun in the hands of this kid?
Exactly. We got to be more conscious and intentional about how we trying to raise our kids too. Like,
Facts.
people always want to say like that number one thing, which we all say it too, because we believe it. We want to break those generational curses. Don't just say it. Be about
Do
that.
it. Yeah, yeah, do it.
Be
Implement
about
those
that.
things. Yeah, implement. Because it start with
But
the youth.
yeah,
You want to break them generational curses, you got to start with the younger generation. We
right.
gotta instill that in them.
Hmm. But yeah, it's put to bed for me too, bro. I just feel like that was just I already knew a lot about it, but I was like, okay, last year we were up there as being almost close to number one. I think we might have been number one or close, but this year it was just like, ain't nothing that you want to be like, damn, we made it. No, that ain't something
Yeah,
we like
yeah.
to see in our community
Nah,
for
facts,
real.
facts.
But
So the
yeah,
next
moving
topic,
on.
moving on. Yeah, moving
Yeah.
on to the next topic of the evening. Mine was it's not even really a question. It was more of a statement, and I was just gonna say how I felt about it, and then I was gonna open it to let you see. Or I really want to see what you think first, and then I'll give you mine. So the statement was, and look, you got that look
I'm
like,
not.
So the statement was, so your soulmate is supposed to be your opposite.
Hmm. Is your soul? It Okay, hold on. Is your
I'm
soulmate
not
supposed
really
to be your
asking
opposite?
it, and I'm forming it as a statement.
Okay.
What I'm asking you, to the audience, I'm forming it as a statement, but I'm asking you, do you feel like your soulmate should be your opposite?
I
It's a
I
statement.
feel like,
I'm saying it. I'm proclaiming it that, that yeah, your
yeah.
soulmate should be your opposite.
I feel like I want my soulmate to be opposite in more ways where I'm lacking in those weaker spots for sure. Like if I'm hard on myself, I don't need somebody who's hard on me too. You know what I'm saying? I need somebody who's
Right,
gonna be supportive,
right.
my leader, like because honestly, you would change your way of thinking by somebody else just pushing you along too. Like sometimes you need another way to think. That might
It's
be all
fact.
you know. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So like I want somebody who can change my not way of thinking, but like encourage me to think different
Mm-hmm.
when I'm having those thoughts or whatever, or and motivate me to do better. I want somebody in those ways as a leader. So yeah, I want them to be opposite in the ways I'm lacking or I need some growth in. We have to have some commonality though, because
Yeah, yeah,
you
yeah, yeah.
know
We gotta have some kind. Yeah,
we
we
gotta
gotta have
have
some
some
kind.
commonality, but for sure, I want that person to be genuinely a leader for me. Like not like a submissive, like nigga get smashed type shit, but like more
Yeah.
of okay, I take your lead because sometimes I get down on myself. I'm hard on myself more than I am than other people are hard on me, or people because of all my life. Some people being hard on me. I'm hard on myself, so I don't have to deal with somebody else's negative opinion about me. I just do it for myself. So sometimes I don't, most of the time you need somebody to say, nah, babe, don't think like that, blah, blah, blah. Give you those little strides or like, nah, don't let that your one day get to your mind or whatever. Because every day is a struggle in real life. Like mentally, you can come up against a lot in your life and you need that extra person, that person to be like your cheerleader in the background, not
Yeah.
necessarily your drill sergeant, more my cheerleader and my support system. So for
Mm-hmm.
me, I want that person to be opposite in the ways where I lack for sure, and opposite in the ways where I need that extra growth. Yeah, like I had saw this post like on on Instagram, and this dude was like, "Yeah, babe, we." She's also, I checked your location, and I see you in Atlanta or something like that. I think it was Atlanta. I don't know, but she was like, "I seen your location." He was like, "Yeah, I just came out here with the fellas to go to this event." And she was like, "What's this event?" He's like, "Look, it's the red dress event." So it's like her man, all his friends dressed in red dresses and shit like that.
Oh, I seen
Now,
some shit like that. I think I seen that
yeah,
in New Orleans though.
huh?
I seen that in New Orleans.
It was in New Orleans. They went down there. They was coming. They went from Atlanta to New Orleans. And
Yeah.
she was
Wow.
like, "You were supposed to be going out with your boys, like basically having a day." He said, "Yeah, we made a day of it. Y'all made a day to drive like 4 or 5 or whatever to go
To
dress in
wear
red
dresses and walk
dresses."
down the street like with a bunch of other men in
But
dresses. I
but
ain't even going. The culture too sensitive right now for me to even touch and say how I really feel on that. But I'm just gonna say one four-letter word: wild, wild,
wow.
wild, wild,
And
wild
I say
outdoors.
that right. And I say that because like you could be in a relationship with somebody and really don't know who the hell you with. So I would rather know that person is being opposite a little bit of me, like in the ways where I can benefit versus
Yeah,
me saying, "Oh, you coming? Oh, this is who you are."
it's a
Okay.
coming out part. Yeah, yeah,
Yeah, like I didn't know. I was wondering when my shit was stretched out a little bit. Didn't know.
yeah,
I
yeah.
know. You know what I'm saying? Like, but like when I saw that blew me, and I was like, I would rather have a person who know who I am, but also allow me to be me at the same time. That
Not fact.
vulnerable, sometimes a mess type of person where you need that little person to be your cheerleader. And most of the time, I'm that person's cheerleader. So I do want that opposite where because I'm when you're everybody's support system, you want somebody who is there for you
Yeah, somebody. Yeah,
or
you need a
who,
person to lean on. Yeah,
yeah. So yeah, in a sense, I want somebody who's different from me because if it was me together, we would be some arguing motherfuckers because we both gonna think we right. And then it's some things like where also where I think I'm good at and I'm not. That person can also check me when I need to be. So yeah, it has to be some opposites, or I ain't
yeah.
gonna listen to his ass for real.
Facts, facts. But now you hit it on the head right out the gate with what I was gonna say. Like, you, the ideal person for you should be strong in areas where
Mhm.
you are weak. If you struggle with discipline, then your soulmate should be somebody who's super disciplined. If you struggle with getting
Mhm.
your diet together or getting your gym regimen together or getting your whatever it may be, your lifestyle together or your drug usage, your alcohol
Yeah.
consumption, whatever it may be, then your soul or your ideal person should be somebody who's highly disciplined in those
Mhm.
areas because that's somebody that can always steer you away and be like, nah, baby, you don't need to be drinking this. Nah, baby, you don't need to be eating this. Nah, baby, you
Right.
said you was gonna go to the gym. Somebody that's gonna hold you accountable. And I feel like a lot of us shy away from our soulmates because we're scared of accountability. Because a person
Mhm.
who's there for you, whether it be mother, father, sibling, lover, ideally
Yeah.
parent, is somebody who's going to hold you accountable. Somebody who's not just going to tell you what you want to hear. They're going to tell you what you need to hear. And when
Yeah.
you got somebody
Absolutely.
who's your soulmate, it's a yin and a yang. The opposites attract. It's made for that. It's like you said. It's the person who's going to be strong in areas where I'm weak. If I don't have
Hmm.
any patience, I need somebody who's super patient. If I got a short temper, I need somebody who's calm in nature.
Yeah.
If I'm struggle with communication, I need somebody who's fluent in communication to help you and strengthen you in these areas. Which much as iron
Hmm.
sharpens iron, we are meant to be together to sharpen each other. And you're not supposed
Right.
to take that as like ridicule or take that as, oh, you always judging me. You want to change me. You want to you don't like me for me. You don't accept me for who I am. No, if I didn't accept you for who you was, I wouldn't be with you.
Right.
But
That
I
part.
am here to sharpen you. It's not about accepting you for who you are and letting you just live and being lower than what I see you can be. It's about me
Yeah.
accepting you for who you are, but seeing who you can be and helping you
Mhm.
elevate to get there. And you doing the same thing for me. That's what love is all about. So when we lack that accountability, or
Yeah.
when we have that fear of growth and elevation, we hinder ourselves from finding our soulmates. It's like I seen a story. The main thing that made me pop up with this topic was I seen a story of a female said she broke up with her dude. She was talking to her male. She's like, oh, I broke up with my dude because we always get into it, and whenever we get into it, I be emotional, I be loud, I be in his face, I be aggressive, I be trying to get my point across, and he always super calm, and he just sitting there, it's like he don't care.
Hmm.
And then her homie was like, "No, Buddy is the perfect person that you're supposed to be going through that
Yeah.
with because while you loud and while you aggressive and you all of that, and he's calm, he's giving you the opposite of that's the opposite of the energy that you giving him. It's not that he ain't
Mhm.
caring, it's not that he ain't listening. It's just he's responding differently. He's there to
Yeah.
calm you. If y'all both
Right.
chaotic and y'all both at that point, y'all gonna be fighting. It's gonna be some domestic shit going on. Like
Yeah.
you have to realize when God is sending you a person that is for you in the form of pushing you. If a person is not pushing you to be greater, if a person is not pushing you to be better, if a person is not pushing you or revealing things about you, or and not even revealing, but just re-revealing, because we know what we lack at a lot of
Hmm.
times, but we don't address it. If a person is forcing you to address those things, then that person is for you. Whether it be
Yeah.
a friend, whether it be a lover, like if that's your soulmate, they're going to push you to be greater. They're going to be pushing you to get to address these issues that are your weaknesses and turn them
Yeah.
into your strengths, and vice versa. If you can't find flaws in a person that you feel like you can help them with, then you don't need to be around them.
You don't need to be. Mhm. It's supposed to make you uncomfortable. It's
It's supposed
supposed
to
to
make you
make you
uncomfortable. Growth
rethink.
is
Yeah.
uncomfortable. Yeah, growth is uncomfortable. It's supposed to make you rethink yourself. None of us are perfect. So if you come
Right.
into any situation thinking that you perfect, or having a person that's making you feel like you perfect all the time, then they're not being honest with you.
No.
Nine times out of ten,
It's
they're not
not.
being honest with you. They just telling you what you want to hear. They're not being honest with you. So you need them people around you that's gonna make you be uncomfortable, because growth comes in when you uncomfortable. But that's really to put
Absolutely.
the bedness on me, put the bed for me. So I just want to say, like, your soulmate is gonna be your opposite. Your friends are gonna be your opposite. Like the people
It
who
should be.
challenge you to growth are the people that are soul ties and soul bonds and soul brothers, soul sisters, soul mates. Those are the
Yeah.
people that you hold dear, the people that challenge you to grow and that bring out growth in you and that you help grow
Mhm.
as well.
For real. Because then what's the point of the
What's
relationship?
the
If
point?
y'all both the
What's the
same,
point?
it's gonna be
We can
toxic
laugh
in some
together, we can kick
sense.
it, we can fuck, we can go on trips, we can spend money together. But what's the
Yeah.
point? In the spiritual,
Yeah.
in the elements, in the elements of God, and the elements of purpose, and the elements. What is the point if we're not growing? But it has
Which
been
is
another episode, man. Put to bed podcast. We hope it's been enlightening for y'all. Hope y'all enjoyed yourself, man. And y'all know what I say every time: rest your eyes, but don't rest your mind. Don't rest your spirit. Don't rest your ambition. Hear me?
yes, sir. And then also, hey, we gonna end with that today. I ain't even gonna say mine because I feel like the way bro said you heard me, that's all we needed to hear tonight. That's all we need to hear. Like, just put food for thought. If you out there being sneaky on the low, doing anything, let the people know, because whatever happens in the dark comes to light. We've all been taught that. Well, at
Come to the
least
light.
our generation. And that's why we know what we know, basically.
Right. Right.
But
And
yeah,
then we always want to look at Mother Nature. I'm gonna add to your 2 cents in that. We always want to
yeah.
look at Mother Nature, right? I mean, when it comes to where everything that's in the dark comes to the light. When you turn the lights on a dog, on a loyal dog, dogs are man's best friend type in a
Hmm.
sense. So a dog, it's gonna be still sitting there on the bed. It's gonna look at you. It's gonna be like, yeah, I'm here. I'm right here. I got you. I'm right. I got your back. I'm guarding the house. I'm right here.
Right.
They gonna approach you. They're gonna
Yeah.
make you feel welcome. Oh dang, my master's here. When the light come on, they're gonna show you their true colors in either protection or gentleness or affection and all those type of ways. But when
Yeah,
you turn the lights on roaches, them bottom feeders, rats, they scatter. Let that sit on your head.
that part.
And that show you where your character at. Are you that loyal dog or you that roach? When the lights come on and you run from the troop and do you scatter? Or are you right
Mm,
here like, yeah, this me. I'm here to protect you. I'm here to be who I am. I'm here to be. You feel me? I'm gonna let it sit right there on
that's a good thought. A good thought for me. I know a lot of roaches, but I know I ain't
that.
one. But I know a lot of roaches.
Well, unfortunately we all do. Unfortunately we all do, man. The
But
goal is
yes,
to have that
bro.
dog in you.
Yeah,
And all right.
and you know roaches and dogs
Love,
don't get
love.
along. See you
No, they
later,
don't.
bro. Love.
I love.
I've been studying the bane in my existence. They try to write me off, but I keep taxing them consistent. You don't know the pain of being trapped inside the system. Soon as they read you your rights, you know you on your way to prison. It's a trap. And why the hell you think they call it that? Trust falls the way I'm comfortable with falling back.